Usos time.
Let's move on to the next. Let's move on. Let's move on to the next. Let's move on to the next match. We have Damian Priest in his first title defense, defeating Jey Uso. What do you guys think about this match? And of course, we're going to talk about the entrance of Jey Uso. What do you guys think about it?
I want to go first on this.
Yeah, no, you can go first on this, Luz.
The end of Judgment Day.
Is it? Whoa.
No, I'm saying I think I've been waiting for this to happen, and I'm very curious to see how it happens and how it's all going to implode, because obviously this has been something that's been hinted at for a while, and I think it's even more of a fate of happening now that Rhea's gone, because I feel like, when she was there, she had a title, Damian had a title. It kind of solidified them as a group, but now with her gone and him being like, I don't even need you guys. I'm trying to, and it just kind of, I don't know. I think it's just a change in his character, I guess, because it's like you guys were doing all these things, all these heel tactics to hold your titles for so long. Now you want to be like, no, I'm doing it on my own because I'm the champ. And it's like,
first of all, if
you're gonna go that route, then you might as well just get rid of the Judgment Day.
If anyone's gonna break up the Judgment Day, it's Liv Morgan. But we'll get to that.
Oh,
we'll get to that.
Lewis, they're going in that direction.
I know. I haven't fully dove into it, but I saw the little oh look, she has the little bandana thing in her pocket. I don't like that angle. It's like,
also,
how are you gonna replace? How are you gonna replace Rhea with Liv Morgan?
We'll get into it. We'll get into it.
We'll get into it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me talk about the match. But yeah, I mean, match was fine. Little hints that maybe Jay could win, but obviously with the Judgment Day coming in to help and everything, I don't know. I'm ready for the implosion to happen. Again, this is another instance where and not saying it sucks that it was Jay, but I mean, obviously keeping Jay in the main event picture, and hopefully he gets. I mean, I feel like he's been getting a lot of. I've seen this online where it was like, I guess the question is, does Jay actually need a title just because he's so hot right now? Like, I feel like it would elevate him, but does he actually need a title? Because it's like, no matter where he goes, he's in that. He's he's literally main event Jey Uso no matter what right now. So I honestly, that kind of holds right now. So it doesn't, I don't think it really affects him as much, him losing these title shots. I feel like eventually it will come and everybody's going to be super excited when that happens. But this match was a good match. Damian's still looking good as a champ, and I'm just very excited to see where this storyline is going. Is he going to be the catalyst to just kind of blow things up, or is like all these things like jealousy and all this stuff, like maybe with Finn coming on and other people like Liv Morgan, which I don't fucking like, but whatever, we'll see.
Well, as far as the match goes, this was a really great match, and a great match for Jay. Definitely a big turnaround from the WrestleMania 40 match against Jimmy. That's actually the one thing that I was thinking about going into this match. I know that obviously when you look back at the WrestleMania match, it was against his brother. They kind of had the same moveset. Something was missing. But then when you see Jay matched up against somebody else, you can clearly see his strengths. We talked about his entrance, but the thing about how special that entrance was, it's the fact that we talk about it every week about where Jey Uso came from, being a tag team wrestler to where he is now, or like Lewis said, arguably the hardest superstar on the roster right now. It's just such an amazing journey. It's an amazing story, and like Lewis mentioned, you alluded to him, and you mentioned Swerve and how they need to essentially push somebody in that manner. And now that the story is essentially finished with Cody Rhodes now, and now they're telling the story of pretty much him having to stay on top now that he's conquered the Giant. I mean, there's always going to be money in the story of somebody chasing the champion. Not specifically Cody Rhodes, but when we go to Monday Night Raw, there's always going to be the story of who's that next guy who's coming, who's the next guy to try to knock the champion off the throne. And I think Jey Uso is that guy. I mean, just not only just the entrance alone, but I also looked up somewhere that I think merchandise wise, he's top 5 now with that Yeet T-shirt, and then the Yeet catchphrase in of itself has gotten over with the audience. So he has all the pieces and all the tools to, in my opinion, to be a top guy. And the fact that he got the entrance the way that it played out shows that he can be a top guy. But to go back to the match itself, obviously, with Judgment Day getting involved. I mean, Lewis. Yeah, I mean, you just wanted an implosion, but I think, especially after Raw, I think they're kind of easing back on that a little bit with them being together. I mean, I think eventually it's going to come. I mean, me personally, I want it to come because I want to get Demon Finn Balor again. That's my personal preference. But this was a great match, a great first title defense for Damian Priest, and he's gonna be a great heel champion. That first title defense showed it.
I thought it was a good standard match, good outing for Damian Priest. Coming out to the ring and having that champion entrance. Having that champion entrance and then Jey Uso with his entrance, I thought it was pretty awesome and cool how he got everybody interacting, and that's a mark of a good true babyface, right? When you get the crowd involved, you get everybody on your side early, and he shows good signs of that. The Yeet, as Brian was saying, the Yeet, I wasn't a fan of at first, but it's going over with people. It's catching on. People are liking it. So to see Jey Uso organically grow, where it was just like, hey, he's just where people kind of thought, hey, he's just known because of Roman, like a part of that bloodline story, but to see him go out and branch out on his own is pretty cool to see. So kudos for him for that. As for the match, I like the involvement of the Judgment Days because it's continuing to show that friction, will they, won't they, type of atmosphere on that storyline. And it's just it's kind of trying to make you think where they're going with Damian as champion, especially even is this going to be a long reign? Or is the Judgment Day going to end up costing him the title at some point with their interference and stuff like that? And that's the ultimate factor. So that's something that's going to be out there for sure. And I'm wondering just where they're going to go, because is he going to turn babyface? Because it's like he's been kind of wanting to be honorable and be like, hey, I want to do this on my own. I want to do this. I want to prove that I'm the champion, XYZ. And it's kind of trying to just pick the tea leaves a little bit as they go, kind of slowly developing the story into that. But I don't think the Judgment Day should break up soon, just because of the simple fact that how is the rest of the group going to go? It looks like they're going to go Dominic and Liv Morgan, that type of angle. JD McDonough is going to go to whatever he's going to go to. But is Finn going to be a heel? Is Finn going to be a face after this? What's going to happen? So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with that. But just as the match, I thought it was a good first outing for him. Showing that he can go. We've been talking about Damian Priest for over a year, saying, hey, he should get a title shot. He should be in that moment, see what he looks like, and now he's the champion. So that was a good first outing. I thought it was a good first outing for him, and to get a win over Jey Uso in that manner, kudos to him. I thought it was good.
They're going to replace him with Carlito.
It looks like it's moving into that direction. And
that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
oh yeah, the LWO is on Raw now. Yeah,
we'll talk about it. We'll talk about